think she knows something.
Guys.
What the fuck is that thing?
We kidnapped a fucking vampire. A ballerina vampire.
We were first reading Abigail. It was just clear from the start that that was one of the things that was this, like, the feature of what was cool about it, is that you had this really confident, really tense heist movie, and it collides with a monster movie. And I think for us, not only was that kind of a flavor we hadn't seen before, but we'd never really done a heist movie before. And so it was really, I think, creatively exciting for us to kind of do our version of that specific genre and then kind of slip into something that I think we're more familiar and maybe more comfortable with, which is just like the monster gore fest, and keeping both of those things alive, the crime movie, the heist movie, the monster movie at all times. That balance, I think, is what was so, it was one of the biggest challenges, but I think at the end of the day is really the identity of the movie. And that was really clear very early on from the script stage.
The other thing that really attracted us to the script was the characters felt very unique, and it felt like there was a lot of opportunity for us, for Guy and Steven, for the actors to kind of work together to build these very, very specific characters. And I think that's something we always look forward to. And when we're working on anything, is like, what's the big fun kind of genre hook? And then how can we make these characters really cool?
Early on, we had a lot of conversations about, well, how are we gonna handle the mythology and the lore behind vampires? And I mean, there is a version of this script that you could set in any time period. You know, for us, there was an opportunity to not only modernize what a vampire is, but also set the movie in a way that the characters themselves within the film are aware of the other vampire movies and the other bits of vampire lore that exist. And I think that was a really fun opportunity for us to kind of take all of the rules, the things that you know, maybe the things that you don't know, have the characters unpack them and have a conversation about them in the movie itself, and then totally flip those things on their head.
Okay, how do we kill a vampire? What are we talking about, like an Anne Rice or a True Blood, you know, Twilight? Stake through the heart. Daylight is a big one.
All right, let's go kill us a fucking vampire. Ready?
We also got to kind of learn the lore and the rules of our movie with the characters as they figure it out. So it's not like, we really wanted to make sure we didn't have like a big rule dump.
An exposition.
Yeah, a big expositional scene where then you work from there. We were like, cool, they just discovered there's a vampire as we discover there's a vampire. And then now let's see how that plays out.
We saw a bunch of tapes, and Alicia was one of them. So when we saw her tape, I mean, it was clear that she was amazing and that she was like at the top of the list. And then our first Zoom with her, I think that what you always hope for is that you also see a real kindness and a real curiosity. And it was all there.
Yeah,
and then just very sort of coincidentally also happens to live in Dublin, which is where the movie shot.
And then in that first Zoom with her, we had her read some sides, and she did the vamp out scene, and all of us were like, oh, and we just started like texting each other like, oh, found it. She found her. She's great. This is it. We got it.
It's like there was like a fearlessness.
Yeah, she was like a monster. And then the second she was done, she was like, okay, was that nice? You know, she's just so sweet and like gentle and kind.
She could do the two things in real
instantly.
life. Yeah, it's that make that change so effortlessly.
We hadn't made a monster movie before, like a straight up monster movie.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to make a monster movie at Universal was like a no-brainer for us. We were like, oh, hey, yes, please. Absolutely. Let's do it.
I mean, I think the fun of making scary movies in general for us is just that it's make-believe on like the highest, craziest level. There's just a lot of really weird, fun, tactile stuff that you get to do when you're making a horror movie. And I think we're just obsessed with that process. Like we really love the making of that. And then I think on an emotional level, there's just so much fun in getting to explore really earnest emotional things under the veneer of this sort of heightened,
ballerina vampire,
wacky, kind of crazy world. And I think for us, you know, it's about making the hard things in our lives a little bit more palatable, right? To be able to explore all of these kind of dark corners of who we are in a way that is really fun and is cathartic. And I think that for us, the sort of balance of those things, that you're making a movie about really serious things that is not taking itself seriously at all, that is the sweet spot for us.
I fucking hate ballet.